Namaskar everyone. When the news of the Adiyogi Center outside of Bangalore came along, a lot of us were very excited. As you know, I actually moved from Coimbatore to Chikkaballapur because I was really excited. But before I saw the center, I had a question in my mind. And that question was about Dhyanalinga. Like me, a lot of Isha meditators, the entire Isha Yoga Center revolved around the one and only Dhyanalinga temple. It's consecrated with the 7 complete chakras. It's like a live guru sitting in front of you. He doesn't push you to volunteer like a certain guru, but you can actually just be in the presence of a full 7 chakra energized being, and he's completely silent. The Dhyanalinga was an effort of a lot of very great yogis for many hundreds and thousands of years, and Sadhguru himself took 3 births to make the Dhyanalinga happen. It was that difficult, and so obviously another Dhyanalinga is not going to come. So in these new Isha Yoga centers that are going to come up, what is it going to be? Is it just like one statue? I know it's 112 feet tall, but really, is it just this? It was only after I spent a good amount of time in this new upcoming Bangalore Adiyogi Center that I understood the impact the Adiyogi has. And that's what I want to share with you today, why these Adiyogi centers are going to be phenomenal, and it's something really exciting happening for the spiritual sadhakas all over and for the spiritual movement. So now that the ad for Dhyanalinga is over, let's get to Adiyogi. Oh, and in case anyone wonders, it's sponsored. It wasn't sponsored. It's a heartfelt devotee's advertisement for her beloved temple. Don't forget the Dhyanalinga. So when I had only visited the Coimbatore Isha Yoga Center, what was happening a lot of times is that I would say almost 75 to 80% of the time when I went to Isha Yoga Center, I actually did not visit Adiyogi at all. I might see it while entering or leaving the ashram if the vehicle passes near the Adiyogi. Sometimes it doesn't even pass nearby, it takes a different route and just goes off. So I would not even see Adiyogi at all. The reason is because, first of all, Adiyogi in Coimbatore is like a kilometer away, so walking back and forth takes a lot of time. And if I'm spending just a few days in the ashram, I will spend it in the Dhyanalinga, the Devi temple, the Tirtha Kunds, and I would be meeting a lot of my friends, and I may have some volunteer work. I may meet some of the brahmacharis and other people of the ashram, and the time just passes away. For a lot of the visitors, especially a lot of you, if you all are one of those people who are kind of obsessed with Adiyogi but haven't really visited Isha Yoga Center, you'd be surprised that we don't even visit every day. Forget every day, like there are many days that goes by where I have not even visited simply because so much is going on, and as I mentioned, the pull of Dhyanalinga and could also be for Linga Bhairavi Devi. So that completely changed when I came to the Chikkaballapur Center, because apart from the administrative office and the Bhiksha hall where you eat food, which is a little bit away, everything pretty much happens near the Adiyogi, where you have the temples, all the visitors coming in, and if any kind of volunteer work is happening over there, then Adiyogi is right there and you cannot miss it. And that's when I started really looking at what kind of impact Adiyogi was having for the visitors, and also as a volunteer myself, as a Isha meditator, when Dhyanalinga was a little bit further away and I just had the Adiyogi and these Yogeshwar temple and Naga temple, how the impact was for me. So this video covers both of these aspects. One of the biggest pulls at the Adiyogi is this amazing light show or Divya Darshanam that happens every single day at 7 o'clock. It's not just any light show, because it's like a technological wonder. There are laser projections happening, and this Adiyogi surface, as you know, is jet black. It's completely black. And it is contoured, in the sense it's rounded, and there are all these ups and downs on the entire statue of Adiyogi. So on that, doing a projection and getting the shapes properly was a big feat technologically. And to have this level of art show available to the general public and for free, I think it's really amazing that these visitors are getting to see something of this technological caliber. And no wonder it is leaving them like totally big fans, like you can see the amount of hooting and the amount of how much the people are enjoying while watching the light show. And I have been thinking that the light show is actually in English language. A lot of these local people who end up coming from nearby villages and all, they may actually not even understand the language completely, and yet they are just cheering and hooting every time something happens on the in the story. And Sadhguru's narration itself is also so powerful, and all the music effects and all the singing that happens along with it. It's really a powerful experience. And again, the fact that it's free and available for everyone every single day, I think that's phenomenal actually. And it amazes me when I see it, because today, in today's world, when the public is watching the light show, there is a sea of mobile recording taking place at the same time. And I don't know where they are uploading this, but I just find it really powerful just to watch, that this is a Shiva story going on. This is so rooted in our culture, and yet there is a mingling of amazing technology, and the public is also so excited about it. I think that's very powerful combination. Otherwise, what happens sometimes is that there's a technological wonder and the public doesn't care because they don't understand that, or there is something very powerful spiritual going on, but again the public is either going from an extremely stereotypical mindset, or they are just not going because they don't understand the importance. And over here everything is kind of merging together. The public is massively excited. Technologically it's powerful, and it is a powerful spiritual situation. The energies are high as well. I think that's a very, very powerful combination, and a lot of people end up dismissing it, saying, oh, it's just entertainment. But entertainment filled with spiritual story and spiritual consecrations and spiritual energy is such a powerful combination. And it's like best of both worlds. Why would you not want it? Why would you want spirituality only to be something bland and boring, which only the select few will be able to sit through simply because they have trained their mind? Why can't the masses have a powerful spiritual experience? And I think this is kind of there. And moreover, a lot of people are saying it's all about Instagram. They want a selfie with Adiyogi and they'll put it on Instagram. But even then, doesn't it show a massive acceptance of our traditional roots? Doesn't it show like a love for Shiva himself? Like, a lot of people are now wearing t-shirts like this. I love my Adiyogi t-shirt, and when I am traveling all over the country, a lot of times even in very rural areas, they are recognizing Adiyogi, and that's so amazing. Remember when we are young and we are in that rebel phase of mind, and when our parents suggest something, we just say no because anything that comes from there is just rejected. Well, for a lot of people, I am sure they still reject Adiyogi simply because he's from the traditional heritage, but a lot of people are not doing that. Even if they are going to Adiyogi just for an Instagram selfie, the fact is they have accepted the traditional heritage. They are open to the traditional things that have come down. And we can't deny that a certain resurgence of the Indian cultural heritage. The youth are trying to understand what the ancient wisdom was. They are looking into the traditional sciences and traditional thinking. And I think the Adiyogi is really helping that wave. Not only is the Adiyogi recognized in rural areas of India, in all over the country actually, but more than that, I am actually seeing cars with Adiyogi statues on the dashboard. And these are cars who would have gone with any traditional Shiva symbol. They could have gone with Damru. In fact, they have a Damru on the mirror, and on the dashboard they'll have Adiyogi statue. They often also have those Mata ka, those red cloths of the Devi, and they tie it somewhere, and they will have the Adiyogi statue. So I'm like, it's not just like a contemporary icon. It's merging with the traditional streams of Shaivism, which is also a very powerful thing taking place. Like Haridwar and Rishikesh, one would think would have their own kind of Shiva things going on, but they have adopted Adiyogi. The number of trinkets that you see is being sold on the shops with Adiyogi logos, the number of Adiyogi statues being sold is a testament to that some of traditional religious regions have adopted Adiyogi in a big way. Once when I was volunteering in the Yogeshwar temple at the Chikkaballapur center, a girl came from Andhra Pradesh, and she wanted to donate a little bit of money, and I was more than happy to collect it. And she was actually so hesitant because she thought that amount was very small, and I was like, no, of course not. Why would you think that? And then she explained to me that she and her friends and maybe even her family are completely obsessed with Adiyogi. She used the word obsessed, and I was like, wow, that is so lovely. And I asked her, she is not an Isha meditator, she has never visited the Coimbatore center, but she's obsessed with Adiyogi. And there are so many such people. Like, I remember this one old person, he came all the way from Gulbarga. He actually took a transportation, he booked a room in Chikkaballapur where he was going to stay, and then he visited the center, and then he was going to stay there and then leave the next day back to Gulbarga. And he said that I just came to explore the center to see how it is, and then next time I will bring all my family, because I didn't want to bring them without knowing what this place would be like. So there is so much curiosity, there is so much pull of so many people. Adiyogi is pulling like people from all walks of life. They are coming, they are taking so much hardship to come to these centers, because the Chikkaballapur center is not even in the Chikkaballapur town. Forget not being in Bangalore, it's not even in Chikkaballapur. Even from Chikkaballapur it takes almost 30 minutes to reach the Adiyogi center. So people are traveling that much to just come to this center because the pull is so much. I think one of the things that I really appreciated about Adiyogi was, after spending a lot of days as a meditator in the Adiyogi Kshetra, I really felt that there is something very light about Adiyogi and the Yogeshwar temple, and that actually is very positive in a way, because sometimes Dhyanalinga can become a little bit a more powerful presence, and so all the time you may not want to expose yourself. So there are a lot of times where if I'm a little bit disturbed or something, I actually will not go to Dhyanalinga, because I do not feel I should be entering that kshetra with my mind being like that. So Adiyogi is awesome for that, because also the visual appeal and the scenery and just the beauty aspect of it, it actually just changes your mind frame for a second, and it is light enough to kind of spend a long amount of time. I remember when I used to volunteer in the Dhyanalinga temple, it becomes a very deep process. The presence of Dhyanalinga, it makes you, at least to me, it was making me a lot more intense and a lot more silent. Becoming intense and silent might not be the best thing for the social situation. The Adiyogi and Yogeshwar Linga did not have that impact. So in that sense, and yet it was very powerful. I will not say it's less powerful, it's just that it's lighter and powerful versus that being a little bit imposing sometimes. Because it is a live guru, guru is not a small thing, it is like a huge thing. So in that sense, I really appreciate the Adiyogi centers a lot actually. I think they're wonderful places to spend some time and really powerful, and you can have a lot of growth, especially if you're volunteering there. I think it is a really great situation. And the amazing thing was that at that time I was actually researching some stuff about Adiyogi, and I came across this quote from Sadhguru. Due to lack of better words, I would say this Adiyogi is a downgraded version of the Dhyanalinga. Similar aspects are there, but not to the same extent. Similar aspects in the sense that he embodies all aspects, whereas generally when you make a linga, there is no feminine aspect at all. But he embodies the feminine in a certain way. It is so brilliant because Adiyogi is transmitting a certain aspects of Dhyanalinga, and that I think makes it the story complete for me, because that little aspect of me which was still saying that yeah, but we still want people to experience the Dhyanalinga, that is kind of getting acquiesced, and hopefully a lot of these people who visit the Adiyogi will eventually also visit the Dhyanalinga, which is in Coimbatore. It's not that far nowadays. People travel quite a lot. Travel is a trend, and flight travel is also very reasonable and something a lot more people are able to afford. So hopefully a lot of them will visit Dhyanalinga. I hope you all have visited Dhyanalinga. If not, then do make it a point, because it's also a little bit fascinating for me, because if you know the entire Dhyanalinga story, just outside Dhyanalinga also there's a poem by Sadhguru that's been kept, and it actually mentions that he wants everyone in the world to experience the Dhyanalinga, and in that sense I think the Adiyogi centers are absolutely a powerful way to start bringing people to the Dhyanalinga. And lastly, If you all are aware of the Chikkaballapur Center, if you all are not, then let me tell you that the footfall numbers have been phenomenal. Like, I don't think anybody even in the organization expected that number of footfall coming in from day one for this Adiyogi and Naga temple, which was there at that time. Yogeshwar temple came later. And the numbers have just been increasing. Obviously, this number of footfall in this region, which as I mentioned is fairly remote, has brought all kinds of commerce related activities in the area as well. The land prices have shot up, which also while somebody who wants to buy a place near Adiyogi may grumble about it, but the fact is for the local people it is amazing. So apart from the economic implications of it to the huge number of footfall that's only going to increase over time, there is also the matter of the social activities taking place, because the Isha Foundation obviously has a large number of social outreach programs that they are running in Coimbatore and a lot of other parts of the country. Sadhguru is famously known for Save Soil and Rally for Rivers and Kaveri Calling, and all of these things are happening at the Chikkaballapur Center as well. From watershed restoration, sapling distribution, they've started a nursery that is offering really good quality saplings at a very, very low cost for farmers and for public as well. Mobile health clinics are crisscrossing all the villages near the center. So many more social outreach programs have been planned, and it's only going to get larger. So the Adiyogi Center as a unit it's a really powerful happening for that entire region.